What could UFOs want with this remote Alaskan city?
My name is Bill Carter. I've been around aircraft all my life. My mother, she was a pilot and very active in the Women's Pilots Association. Both of my parents were pilots. What I saw, I can tell you, it was nothing that I have ever seen in the skies of Alaska, ever. I was from Oregon, came up here for a 2-week job in 1984, and I've been here ever since. I couldn't be in the situation we're in right now without my wife, Patricia.
My name is Patricia Roll. I'm at the Baskin, born and raised Anchorage, Alaska.
Nothing could prepare Bill and Patricia for what they witnessed together on a frozen winter night. A sighting that made them question everything.
December 16th, 2019. It's a night I'll never forget.
Bill and I were getting into the car, and we saw something in the night skies that did not belong there. It was what we called orange orbs.
I looked up in the sky because I saw some orange glow off the hood of the car. Pat said, "What's that?" Wow.
What the hell?
I don't know, look at that. An orange orb, huge, and it's coming towards us.
The moment I saw it, I said, "That's a UFO."
It's something. And then I see another one coming right behind the first one. Same altitude, and they're moving towards me. About that time, another one comes up.
Look how many.
I know. I jumped out of the car, and there is no sound.
No sound at all.
They do not make a sound.
They were extremely bright.
Very bright.
Bright. A bright I've never seen before. Bill did tell me to go get my camera, so I got my phone out. But it was December, so it was cold, so my hands were shaking a little bit.
The whole thing was glowing, and to me, it looked like orange coals glowing and changing. I believe they were intelligently controlled because they were all coming at the same speed, the same elevation, and they were spaced the same distance apart. What was that? What did we just see?
That's a UFO.
Unbelievable. Seriously.
And how, did you see how many?
As someone who has spent his entire life around aircraft, the unnerving sighting has left Bill scrambling for answers.
And I was so taken aback by what did we see. And I mean, still every day we go through this of what did we witness? What did we see? We saw something. It's nothing that was military. It's not private aircraft. I'm going to say there was about 7 of them. I can't give you an exact count. Quite frankly, I don't think it was from this world. I want to know what it was.
According to Alaskan UFO expert Krista Stewart, Patricia and Bill are far from the only citizens of the state to witness multiple UFOs at the same time.
I've been researching UFO phenomenon for over 20 years. And with UFO sightings, it's not unusual to see more than one object, just as U.S. military planes fly information as a part of their fleet activity. The same can be true for alien craft. For example, there was an incident in 1986 with Japan Airlines that involved multiple lights as well as a mothership. And at that same time, there was multiple towns and villages around that area that had seen their own sets of lights. There's been a lot of multiple sightings of craft in one incident. Well, there was a sighting over a village, a remote village in Alaska, where there were multiple lights in the sky, multiple craft and colors. on display for all the residents of that village. In that incident, it came across as though they were putting on a show specifically for that village, for the people to see. It didn't fit that it would be any kind of activity where they were specifically doing something else. With all the acreage of the state of Alaska, for them to be in that specific location, I believe that it was definitely an interaction with the villagers themselves. The possibilities for why there would be multiple craft, it could be endless, from them traveling from point A to point B, for them doing some kind of activity in that specific location, or even interacting with the people in that location that is viewing that sighting.
But it's not just what they saw that night in December of 2019 that has Bill worried. It's the specific spot in the sky where it all happened.
This is where we are at currently, and this is where we saw the UFOs. This is a small airstrip called Merrill Field. The airstrip runs east and west. And this gray area here is all military base. Fort Richardson and Elmendorf Air Force Base. Here in Alaska, we have a large military presence.
With its remote outposts and weather-worn roads, Alaska is built on aviation. But as military and civilian flight enthusiasts fill the skies, they've witnessed things that knowledge of earthly craft can't explain. In April of 2020, the Pentagon declassified a series of chilling videos. Fighter jets chasing down unidentified aerial phenomena, including instances in Alaska. But the military has still offered no explanation of what these strange, unidentified objects in the skies over Anchorage might be.
These UFOs that we saw came directly through this airspace from this direction, and they were at the same altitude as what an aircraft would be on takeoff or on approach for landing. So there's no way in my mind, based on my experience around aviation, that anybody would have flown something through this airspace or got permission to fly through that airspace. It just wouldn't happen. So what we saw did not belong here. I don't see anybody else trying to find an explanation to what it is, and I'm concerned that there's things entering our airspace that may be friend or foe, that quite frankly scared the hell out of me. And it was enough that it forced me to file a report. I called the 3 local TV stations the next morning, called the FAA. No reports had been filed. Nobody had said anything. The thing that shocks me the most is that there were no other reports. I have a hard time with that nobody else saw them.
My biggest question is, I want to know what it is, why are they here? Me growing up as a kid, you never heard people talk about this, but more recently, people are starting to talk about it because it's happening more and more.
And she was a little bit more of a believer in the UFO thing. Since we'll talk about that, because that is why you're here.
Because there is no way that we could be the only ones here, out there. That's impossible. So I've always been the one to be looking up, wondering, thinking, wishing. And then last December, it came true. I got to finally see something.
And that night, I had to change my thinking.
He was looking up with his mouth wide open.
Yeah.
It was... I just want to know why. Why are they letting people see them? Why did I get to see them? I'd like to know why.
How can multiple objects enter such a busy airspace directly next to a military base, undetected?
What the hell?
I don't know. Look at that.
It's not the first time these questions have been raised. And until the government provides some answers,